Hey everyone, it's Evan and Irma here from Vera Health. Today, a fascinating topic around positive change, transformation, and beyond, leveraging AI in healthcare, and two real industry insiders as guests. So, super excited for this chat. We're going to dive right in with introductions. Pravin from FPT Software. How are you? Good to see you again, my friend. Maybe introduce yourself. And
Hi,
for the
Ivan. Thank
folks
you so much. I'm doing
watching,
very well.
thank you.
I'm Praveen. I'm the Executive Vice President and Business Head for FPT Software. I'm based out of Chicago.
This is a Chicago special edition today. We have two guests from sunny Chicago. Hopefully, summer has finally arrived, like it here is in Boston. And Praveen, maybe introduce FPT for those folks who aren't familiar with the tech and
Okay,
IT
so yeah,
powerhouse that you
so
guys are.
FPT Software is the largest IT company from Vietnam. This is a corporation which is $2.1 billion group with 60,000 employees across the globe in 30 countries. FPT Corporation started 30 years back, then diversified into multiple areas, telecom, retail, pharmacy, education, and IT. FPT Software, where we belong to, is $1.1 billion group with 30,000 employees in 26 countries. Primarily, we provide services end to end. We call it sketch to scale, whether it is consulting, application services, digital aid services. That's FPT, and I belong to FPT USA Corporation.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to dive in with your expertise. And Nick from Chicago land as well. Would love if you could introduce yourself to the audience. And EmpowerHealth.ai is the website. Fascinating site. I was just looking at it today. Maybe introduce yourself and your vision, your mission.
Sure, Evan, thanks. So Nick Martin, I'm our CIO and EVP of product here at Empower Health. Empower Health is a company founded on the mission that we would like to improve the health experience one conversation at a time. So we've built a conversational interactive engine that converses with patients and consumers across the healthcare landscape. And we are on that mission and improving it for payers, providers, health services organizations all across the USA.
Amazing. Irma, do you want to dive in with the first question and we'll go from there?
Absolutely. I'm interested in you both giving us a bit of a partnership overview. Nick, what were you looking to add to kind of your network of software development? And why did you choose FPT Software to partner with? And maybe a little bit more detail about your offerings.
Sure. And Praveen, I'll ask you to add some color on this as well. But as we grew as a startup organization and started expanding across the healthcare continuum, we were really looking for the right partner provider that could help scale with us as an organization, both in terms of bodies, but also in terms of unique skill sets and technological resources that we need in order for us to provide the services that we provide. That could include data scientists, software developers, those machine learning experts, et cetera. And then secondarily, it was really important to us as an organization, an IT-led organization, to have a geographic dispersion of our resources across the globe as well. So, time zone, following the sun, if you will, was a really important part as we started to scale this business across the multiple pairs that we serve. To have the types of resources that could build those technologies in different time zones was also important to us. And then third, we are multilingual in what we do as an organization. Our product actually that does it in 72 different languages. Having Vietnamese is an important language for us to be able to serve those in the Vietnamese community as well. So we reached out and we built a great partnership with FPT. And Praveen, maybe you can add some color on what that looks like and how we've grown as together as a partnership as well.
Yeah. So thanks, Nick. Actually, this partnership really grew from with a small team. Now we are scaling up, and as Nick already mentioned, he was looking for the breadth of the experience in managing complex solutions and bringing variety of skills, including the multilingual, whether it is Japanese, Vietnamese, Chinese. And that's what we added, kind of a value to Nick's team. Not just that, we even looked at this solution as a very unique and very valuable solution to our customers. And we have now partnered to take that solution to market. I started working in North America, and I'm sure at some stage we will take it to Southeast Asia as well.
Oh, fantastic opportunity. And Nick, maybe let's dive into your solution in a little more detail. Conversational AI is affecting and impacting so many industries and verticals, and often healthcare is overlooked by some of these advanced technologies. So it's great to see you with such a laser focus. Maybe talk about the solution, some examples of how it's being deployed to, improve patient engagement and introduce all kinds of efficiencies on the operations side within healthcare organizations and beyond.
Evan, maybe I'll even take a step back a little bit, if you'll allow me, and maybe a little bit provocative, and say that we believe at EmpowerHealth that there's really nothing artificial about artificial intelligence, but instead AI, in our belief, is augmented intelligence. It's really critical when you start looking at the concepts of artificial intelligence or augmented intelligence as we see that, the components of machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, robotics, fuzzy logic, all of those things combine to become AI as how it's seen in the industry. We believe that as you apply that in healthcare, it's incredibly important to have a supervised learning model in your AI tools when you deploy it out in the marketplace. There's a lot of fear in healthcare that AI could maybe misdiagnose or misassess or lead down the path that hasn't been clinically proven or directed by the clinical staffs. What we deploy and what we do is a conversational engine that's multimodal, works in voice, text, and digital chat, that enables you to engage consumer population, help close gaps in care. We offer 4 different product sets to our clients that we serve. Our Empower Identify, that helps reach out and identify issues, challenges, or assessing a patient population. Secondarily, we offer an Educate product. It's more personalized, developing and delivering personalized content and information in one of those 3 channels to help that patient population either know more about their benefits, or maybe engage in different care paths that they might have, or know how to manage their diabetes more effectively, or medication adherence. Then we have an Activate product that's leading towards getting people to take an active engagement in their health, whether that be a wellness program, whether it be enrolling in a plan, whether it be a disease management or condition management application. That product gets those people into those programs. And then on the far end of the consumer engagement continuum is something we call Empower 360, this is a relationship with a virtual health assistant from a long term, engaging in their health, reaching in and checking in with them, helping manage their health condition, remind them, get them connected to the right health resources, et cetera. And underneath all of that is our interactive conversational engine at EmpowerHealth that feeds all of those different care paths, those different work logics, if you will, but also then offers the different modalities to engage people where they want to be met, when they want to be met, and in the modality that they want to be met. We believe our patients and consumers don't have a single consumer preference, but they have preferences. So when you're reaching out to someone, is now the right time to have a digital chat? Is now the right time to have an SMS reminder? Or is now the time to have an interactive, true voice conversation that helps them through their condition or the knowledge that they need transferred to them at any given point in time? And that, again, as I mentioned early on, our mission, to improve the health experience, and I say experience as in totality, one conversation at a time, because we know that individual transactions is not what health is about. It's about the conversation and how you engage them in totality.
Oh, fantastic overview. And I do have a question as a techie, as a geek, a little bit of a peek behind the curtain into the platform you've built. We've all been educated on what LLMs are and conversational AI is through ChatGPT and OpenAI and other models, but those clearly aren't sufficient for today's healthcare applications, given hallucinations and all kinds of edge case problems. So have you built your own technology? What does it look like behind the scenes, behind the curtain of the tech stack that you built?
Yeah, and without getting maybe too deep in the tech, we do obviously leverage commodity-based services behind the end product set just to get us speed to market and some of the basic things. But proprietary on top of that, we've layered in 8 years of significant healthcare experience and interaction.
Wow.
We've done over 15 million conversational minutes with patients over the last several years. That has enabled us to understand that. I don't know about all of you here on the call today, but not everyone knows how to pronounce every medication. And it's very likely that when someone looks at their medication, they may actually mispronounce that medication. So when you're talking to someone with AI or as a virtual assistant, it's critical to understand what did they really mean when they said asortavatin, when they really meant to say atorvastatin. Those are things that we've found and modeled in our logic, because consumers, it's very difficult in those complex words to understand. So not only do we know how to actually speak healthcare as part of EmpowerHealth, but also how to understand when people misspeak healthcare and the intent of what they've had.
That's fantastically important, especially when you talk about patient experience and making sure you really understand what patient intent is. Yeah, I'm interested in maybe some specific use cases. You already kind of told us almost end-to-end examples of how your technology is empowering both patients and maybe providers and the rest of the kind of healthcare ecosystem. But maybe Pravin, I don't know if you want to jump in and maybe give us a specific use case, another like end-to-end example. Maybe not talk about technology, but just talk about impact.
So conversational AI, as Nick mentioned, one of the best part is if you look at today's in the hospital where the nurses follow pre and post clinical visit with the patient, there are shortage of nurses in the hospital. They are more trained to take care of the patient rather than focusing on the follow-ups. Conversational AI comes very handy. Imagine calling the patient post-clinical visit or as a follow-up to check if they are taking the medication in right time. Is there any kind of a side effects, any of the issues that they have that can be captured, reported back to the pharmacy or the clinics is the best use case. And if you listen to the EmpowerHealth solution, it's very, very conversational, as if you're talking to a human. It understands the medical terms very well. It understands the intention, the answers that you give. It's very, very fascinating to hear. And the solution, the use case is beautiful. I think one of their biggest customers is using it, and we are trying to see the value and taking it to the other customers as well.
That's fantastic.
Irma,
if you would
add on, if you wouldn't mind,
please,
just add on some maybe additional insight or thoughts around where it can be applied and add some impact. As Pravin mentioned, we've done a lot in the post-discharge space for patient populations, and there's this fright of AI replacing humans, and we don't necessarily believe that it's going to replace the human. In fact, what we're trying to do on our side is really help those clinicians work to the top of their license and do what they want to go for, and treat the complex medical situations. So we in the last year or so, a couple of years, we did over 1 million outreaches to those discharged from the hospital. And by automating and using AI to reach out to patients that have been discharged to help them in that post-discharge summary and actions through the conversational interaction, we were able to save that organization about $10 million in operational costs. But more importantly, allowing their clinicians to actually do the important, really, really important critical work to meet the patient's needs. So huge cost savings, incredibly good consumer feedback in the report. But then you can take that and you can apply that into the care delivery sector. And we did some condition management outreach over 12 months with a very large care delivery center in the southeast of the country, where we were able to get patients to reach 91% medication adherence level, which is unheard in the market. 88% blood oxygen levels, engagement of over 80% over 12 months. And then we reduced the amount of administrative workload on their clinical staff by, on average, 3 hours a day. You can imagine the as Pravin mentioned, the clinical shortage of nurses and other clinical experts in the market. Not only is there's this massive shortage, but they're doing administrative and meaningless tasks in their mind that they would prefer not to be doing, and in many cases we can do on their behalf, bring up the happiness scale, and keep those folks doing the work that they should be doing and the work that they were hired for.
That's phenomenal. Wow, that's great to hear. And it's no small task building a platform like this. Pravin, I mean, you're known as the software engineering powerhouse, but talk about, it's not just software. You need the skills, you need the platforms, the tooling to kind of rapidly build these capabilities. What sort of investments did you bring into this equation to kind of bring the right skills at the right time with the right tools, particularly with all this AI requirement that we're seeing here?
So even FPT is constantly investing in AI. Our vision is to bring AI as a companion or a co-pilot for our developer, staff, and management team to increase their productivity and efficiency. We've been constantly doing research in Gen AI, applying Gen AI into software development through increasing, and that helps increase the productivity of our developers as well. Not just that, we have actually partnered with best-in-class people on the planet, especially when it comes to the AI research. Like we work with Mila University, Quebec AI Institute, founded by Joshua Banjo, who is known as the godfather of modern AI. For infrastructure, we have tied up with NVIDIA to power the AI computing power. Then we also have partnered with Landing AI. They are known in computer vision, founded by Professor Andrew Nee, who is very, very influential in the AI space. And not just that, as a company, we have also, we are the earlier adopter of a large vision model. I'm not sure if you know, large vision model as compared to LLM. And we have applied that technology in many of the solutions for our customers, especially in the healthcare space. We've applied that for medical imaging, for early lung cancer detection. We have applied AI for pharmaceutical manufacturing, for pills inspection, visual inspection, pills counting. So we have built the platform called Landing Lens. With very limited data, we can actually train the LVM model for detecting the deficiency with a very high accuracy of 93.6%. So FPT constantly, producing AI class engineers. We have over 2,000 plus AI professionals in our company. We have an AI residency program, which is like 2 years program that produces best-in-class AI engineers. In last 3 years, we started that program in May 2021. In last 3 years, we have produced almost 1,300 AI professionals. They have published over 100 papers in different conferences. We have been granted patents. One of the patents that we got in AI technology is to improve the accuracy of object recognition from single angle. And we have applied that actually in one of the medical imaging solutions. So we have all these investments and the continuous research has helped, companies like EmpowerHealth to help them, scale, deliver the solution that they are looking at.
Fantastic overview, Pravin. Thank you. No shortage of resources. And as somewhere who, somebody with engineering background, I've been in product development myself for 20 years. I know how investment in that background, basic technology, R&D, and building the best-in-class engineers goes a long way to what you end up delivering as a product. But let's step back a sec. We haven't touched on data security, safety, protection of patient data. As a patient myself, patient advocate, I want to make sure those are in place as well. I'm sure they are, but can you tell our audience how you approach this?
Yeah, privacy and security is critical in healthcare, and it's one of the most regulated industries, definitely in the country. With HIPAA in place, we as an organization abide by all HIPAA regulatory standards. We are a high trust certified organization that gives a lot of confidence to the people that we serve. We also abide by and ensure that we constantly are updating all of our TCPA regulatory outreach protocols so that we're abiding by those types of data securities. And then we containerize and segment our data by our client base so that we're not, cross-pollinating, if you will, to ensure that we're keeping things separate as well. So we are constantly under watch, if you will, on managing all of those different regulatory environments as an organization. And then we also provide those certifications and audits on an annual basis to the clients that we serve across the country as well, to give them confidence in what we're doing and reaching out to the millions and millions of consumers that we reach out to each year.
Yeah. And even FPT, like we follow most of the QMS standards of our client. And similarly, we are HIPAA compliant, high trust certified, all our centers. We have all the right certification that is needed to ensure the client data is secured. And we understand software development in regulated environment, working with two regulated industry, aviation and healthcare. Both are very, very sensitive. We understand and we completely comply with what our clients are asking us to do.
That's fantastic, Pravin. And this strikes me as not just a typical software services agreement or outsourcing, but a true partnership or collaboration. I've seen many software services projects not particularly go well. So it's great to see a project that's going fantastically. What are the dynamics there with the collaboration that's enabled this to work so successfully?
So a couple of things, Ivan. I always say client bring a lot of business knowledge, whereas FPT brings 2 decades of experience in implementing different solutions, building different technologies, implement different tools. So expertise in different technologies, trying to solve different complex problems. The scalability, most of the clients looking for a new solution, new technology experience, and they want to scale it for certain time to do certain things and then scale down. So we bring that scalability, accelerate in adapting new technology. What I would say is a lot of times there are ideas to go with new technologies. What FPT brings is one, yes, we have experience. But more than that, we also help client to give the real practicality and the effectiveness of the technology, because many times we would think we want to implement X, Y, Z, but not necessarily that will be a novel or a practical idea to go with that technology. So we also bring that kind of knowledge and expertise. And I said, in this partnership, we are looking at a symbiotic relationship. They are our customers, but we are trying to see how we can help, expand the reach for the solution through our presence in North America.
Oh, wow.
And other part of the world.
Yeah, that's good perspective there. And then obviously we've been talking about a lot of success, and EmpowerHealth looks like you've been doing this for 8 years or maybe even longer. So you've achieved that market penetration and that success. Could you tell us where challenges of adoption of your approach and your solution set, and maybe they're ongoing? I mean, obviously, regulated environment, dealing with highly sensitive data, that all remains as a challenge in adoption of brand new technology like AI, let's say. But what are the specific challenges maybe to your partnership or to adoption of your particular solution set?
Well, I think, not to be redundant, but some of the things that you called out are the leading challenges. Regulatory environment, for sure. I think the comfort and adoption of AI, and frankly, the understanding of what does it mean to be doing AI, as I started to discuss kind of early on, and getting people educated on what really is AI and how does it help me. Probably most importantly, resistance to change. Right. Healthcare has been an industry that has been a bit of a laggard, dare I say. And I've been in healthcare now about 25, almost 30 years in healthcare technology, has been a bit of a laggard in adopting new technology and advancements. And so driving change into an organization and adoption is a very, very difficult thing to do and tends to be a longer sales cycle, a longer belief cycle, if you will. But once we get in and we start showing success and showing metrics, the increase in adoption is accelerated at an incredibly rapid pace. So, definitely regulatory environment, resistance to change. And then as we look at partnerships, and as Pravin was just kind of pointing out, understanding the dynamics of healthcare and applying those with technological resources, that's a unique bird to understand how technology and healthcare work together. Because this isn't just about buying resources, as Pravin said. You have to understand the business, the model, and we spend a lot of time with our teams and our partnership, making sure that they understand what the objectives of the organization or what we're trying to achieve, so that when they're bringing solutions to bear, they're not just being thrown out. They actually apply and bring true real world value in the solution set and the product offerings that we're delivering.
I love it. Real world value. This is what we're all after, especially in healthcare. Wonderful.
Yeah, and Pravin, you must it must be challenging. A new customer, a new partnership, a new environment. People have to get to know each other. You need to build project teams and roadmaps. All that alignment is difficult as well, right? When you have a new engagement.
Any relationship is a journey. It goes through, it takes time to adapt and, adjust to each other. So it's a journey. So, I always say, so we have to stay together. The best test of the relationship is when things go south. That's where how you adapt, how you work together to really come out of it and then stabilize the thing. But also, as Nick mentioned about I've been trying to take the solution to the customers. Many a times they believe it too good to be true, kind of things. That's another problem, because people say, how is it possible? How is this system can understand such a medical term and can react so quickly? So it's not easy for people to digest certain things that they are seeing, because a lot of things was kind of a concept. Now it is reality. So adapting takes time, and we are trying our best. And I know it'll be a big success very soon. It just needs few anchor customers to start using it.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Exactly.
Now, pivoting to industry trends in general, looking ahead, healthcare, digital health, health tech, what do you see as the next big thing in healthcare technology? And you can't just answer AI. It has to be more than just the buzzwords. We want to dive deep here.
Well, AI, there's no question. AI is a buzzword, but I think that provocative statement that there's nothing artificial about artificial intelligence is kind of critical when you position AI as one of those things. So I think the adoption rate and the comfort with AI will continue to increase in healthcare. I think that some of the image-based AI things that are going on in healthcare technology will absolutely increase. I think the willingness to have a blended solution approach that AI is augmenting and assisting, but not replacing, will be a key component to that. And then I think a lot of the IoT related, the Internet of Things and devices and whatnot, definitely will continue to expand, and they will start to feed into these models. I believe fundamentally, as you're hearing from me throughout the last 26 minutes or so, that AI, that the voice components of AI will continue to increase. And that's really evident in how you see all of us, not just the senior populations, but all of us interacting with different tool sets. Smart speakers are in nearly every home in America. Our phones now all have voice-based interactive assistants on us to help us be more efficient in our outreach. So instead, we had this digital trend of people going to digital transactional interactions, and I see us a little bit tipping back into more voice conversational interactions that we've found on our side that frankly we can uncover more data and insights, which will become the foundational component to this next level of innovation that enables you to do more things for people. For example, I'll give you an example that we know that about 30% of the time in a voice channel will uncover additional insights to answers that weren't offered in a digital channel. And I'll give you a specific. If I asked you in a chat, did you take your medications? 100% of the time you will say yes or no. About 30-some% of the time, we will get an additional context to that no, such as, no, I ran out of pills. Or no, I didn't have a ride to the pharmacy, or you fill in the blank. So that context, much like this conversational interaction that we're all having today, would be very difficult to do in text, as we've all seen. Text has a much shorter interaction. In fact, there's a whole new language in text with words that have been shortened and acronyms and whatnot. Voice, as we start to transition back and get adopted more across this industry, will uncover and continue to have exactly what happened in that clinician to patient interaction in the past. And that's the type of the capture and data capture that we're harnessing here in EmpowerHealth that can then get applied into not only better health, but better health experiences across the entire healthcare continuum.
Such great insights. And I know we haven't talked about consumerization of healthcare, and sometimes it's used as a dirty word, but that could actually help with adoption, right? As people get more used to AI and voice interactions with Alexa and other tools just in their non-health life, and trust it more and use it on a regular basis, they might be more willing to do it in a healthcare setting as well. And I love how you pointed out the voice is such a much more richer medium than just text. So yeah.
And technology is also going to enable clinicians for better productivity and efficiency. Like EmpowerHealth can help support the nursing staff. Moving forward, as Nick mentioned about the voice, now more voice to text. Copilot is there, which quickly captures all the interaction, creates a summary, quickly upload into the EMR, EHR. Doctor used to spend hours writing the script after the patient interaction. So those are very, very small things. A lot of data that will be given in hands of the physician for better interaction with their patients, for diagnosis. All that kind of things are getting added, and that'll add more and more efficiency to the health experience that I call it, a patient experience.
Yeah, my mind was blown.
Go ahead. The other thing that voice does, Irma, that I think is also really important is that it transcends all economic statuses and interactions of people as well, right? Yeah. So those that are less fortunate to have maybe computers and digital interactions and things of that nature, a voice channel is very common. I mean, we do a lot of work in our space in the Medicaid business, helping those have awareness of their benefits and re-enroll in their benefits, so they ensure that they have connectivity of healthcare through, from year to year, that redetermination of benefits. And that hard to reach, maybe more transient population, maybe a little lower economic status population, voice is an incredibly powerful channel. We reached 64% of the people that we reached in our Medicaid book were engaged in the interaction in a voice channel. And that's a very powerful tool to ensure that those that are on a Medicaid plan continue coverage and they are able to see their physicians and clinicians to service their healthcare needs.
Wonderful thought, and such important work you're doing. I would just love to ask, what's next in the partnership and go-to-market with EmpowerHealth and FPT? Can you give us a peek into the next year or so? What's on your radar, Nick?
We're going to continue to expand as an organization. The partnership that we have with FPT, doubling down on our interactive conversational engine that we have and building on our healthcare expertise. We will also be providing more insights and analytics to our clients and populations so that they can take action on what's occurring and adjust how we're reaching out to patient populations in totality. So investing in the analytics, the machine learning components of what we're doing, and FPT is going to be a key component to having that help for us. And then our configurability and routing and how our interactive conversational engine decides what the next best action is. We'll be expanding on that in significant space as well. That'll enable us to be able to be more flexible and meet the needs and be faster to market for the clients that we're serving.
Yep. And we'll look at really helping Empower Health to scale, grow, not just from the technological support perspective, but also business, how we can help expand their business. So that's a part of the future goal and the vision that we have.
Wonderful. Well, I could chat all afternoon, but sadly we have to let you go back to work, back to the grind. Hopefully in Chicagoland you have summer like it's now in Boston. Beautiful day outside. Let's get outside and enjoy the sun. And thank you so much for the vision. It's so impressive, and the best is yet to come.
Thank you,
Thank you
Pravin.
so much. Thanks, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks,
the
Nick,
time.
Pravin,
All right,
Irma.
Pravin,
Take care.